Waystation Epsilon-7 had been dying for 3 years, and Sera Nalith was dying with it. Not quickly, nothing in space happened quickly, but with the inexorable patience of entropy. Systems failed one by one. Environmental controls in outer sections, gravity generators in lower decks, entertainment networks, communication arrays. The station groaned and settled like an old building, its metal bones contracting in the void's endless cold. Sera marked time by degradation. When the hydroponics bay finally gave up, that was year 2. When the main corridor lights started flickering, year 3. She'd stopped counting days. What was the point? Her ship, the courier vessel that was supposed to be her future, sat dead in docking bay 3. Its engine core catastrophically failed, its fuel cells depleted, its hull gathering the microscopic pits of vacuum erosion. She docked here for routine repairs 3 years ago, expecting standard service and resupply. Instead, she'd found an abandoned station, decommissioned without warning, maintenance contracts terminated, left to slowly disintegrate. Her distress calls went unanswered. Her fuel ran dry. Her hope followed. Now Sera existed in a single habitable corridor near her docked ship, rationing power and emergency rations, maintaining life support through increasingly creative bypasses. Her long veil and ears, once alert and expressive, hung limp. She'd stopped grooming, stopped maintaining schedules, stopped believing rescue was possible. Epsilon-7 sat on a trade route that no longer mattered, bypassed by newer jump gates and faster shipping lanes. Nobody came here. Nobody would. So when the docking klaxon sounded, a harsh blare cutting through 3 years of silence, Sera thought she was hallucinating. She'd had auditory hallucinations before. Phantom footsteps. Imagined voices calling her name. But the klaxon continued. Station sensors confirmed. Actual ship, requesting docking clearance. Sera ran. Captain Ryan Torres guided the wandering star into Epsilon-7's docking bay with practiced ease, though something felt wrong. His nav computer listed the station as operational, but the place looked dead. Emergency lighting only, systems barely responding, the whole structure radiating abandonment. He detoured here after a navigation error, needing to recalibrate without burning too much fuel. Expected automated services, maybe minimal crew. Didn't expect the desperate figure sprinting down the docking corridor the moment his airlock opened. She was Valen. He recognized the species from trading days, distinctive long ears and luminous eyes adapted for darkness. But she was emaciated, clothing patched and worn, eyes wild with something between hope and terror. She grabbed his arm with surprising strength, speaking too fast for his translator. Something about stranded, about years, about please don't leave, don't go please. Ryan gently extracted himself, got her to slow down. The story that emerged broke his heart. 3 years, alone, station decommissioned, ship dead, no rescue. She showed him everything, her courier vessel with its dead engine core. Her quarters, 1 corridor, 1 room, supplies organized with obsessive precision. Her logs documenting 3 years of unanswered distress calls, hope slowly dying. Ryan did quick calculations. His cargo was time-sensitive but not critical. He had supplies to share, fuel to spare, and he absolutely could not leave someone to die alone on a ghost station. "Okay," he said, watching relief flood her gaunt face. "Let's see what we can do about your ship." But even as he spoke, Ryan suspected the engine damage was beyond field repair. What this woman needed wasn't just mechanical help. She needed a reason to believe again. The repairs took 4 days, and Sera slowly came back to life. At first she was frantic, hovering, terrified Ryan would give up and leave. But as he methodically worked through her ship systems, replacing what he could, bypassing what he couldn't, jury-rigging solutions that defied proper engineering, she began to relax. They worked in silence initially, then conversation emerged. Sera told him about before, courier navigator specializing in difficult routes, taking pride in efficient paths. Her ship's failure wasn't dramatic, just cascading malfunctions snowballing into catastrophic death. By the time she realized how bad it was, she'd already docked at Epsilon-7. Ryan shared his story. Third-generation freight hauler, keeping an aging ship operational through stubbornness and creative maintenance. He talked about the loneliness of long-haul space, weeks between contact, the void teaching you comfort with silence. But 3 years alone would break anyone. He asked why she didn't try escape pods, SOS beacons, anything besides staying put. Sera's ears drooped with shame. She tried, early on. But her escape pod's power cells were depleted. She'd cannibalized them for station power. Her beacon burned out after 6 months. Every jury-rigged solution failed because she was a navigator, not an engineer. She knew courses, not power systems. By the time she ran out of options, she'd also run out of hope. Ryan was quiet then. Hope isn't something you just have. Sometimes someone else has to give it to you until you can carry it yourself. On day 3, Ryan admitted what Sera suspected. Her engine core was beyond his repair capability. Needed specialized equipment, parts he didn't carry. Sera's fragile hope crumbled. Ryan saw her retreating into the defeated shell he'd found. Then he showed her his work, course calculations, fuel estimates, towing analysis. He couldn't fix her ship, but he could tow it to Threshold Outpost, 8 days away. Would burn extra fuel, slow his schedule, cost profit, but it was doable. "I'm not leaving you here," Ryan said simply. "We'll get you somewhere that can actually help. And if your ship's scrap, well, Threshold has transport options. You'll get home, Sera, I promise." For the first time in 3 years, Sera believed someone. The journey to Threshold took 9 days. Ryan took extra care with towing, but Sera didn't mind. For the first time in 3 years, she was moving through space instead of trapped in orbit. Stars streamed past viewports, and she remembered why she'd become a navigator. The beauty of the void, the mathematical elegance of courses, the satisfaction of efficient paths. Ryan set her up in the Wandering Star's small passenger cabin, barely more than a bunk, but clean and warm and infinitely better than deteriorating station quarters. They fell into comfortable routine. Ryan handled piloting and maintenance. Sera assisted with navigation, optimizing his route calculations. She was shocked by his trajectories, functional but inefficient, taking twice as long as necessary. She started teaching him, sketching courses on his display, explaining gravity-assist mathematics and fuel burn efficiency. Ryan learned quickly, implementing her suggestions with obvious delight. One evening, Ryan asked what she'd do at Threshold. Sera admitted she didn't know. Her courier company probably declared her dead. Her family held a memorial service. She'd intercepted the announcement. She had no ship, no job, no home. Everything she was died on that ghost station. Ryan was quiet then. "What if you didn't go back? What if you came with me?" Sera's ears perked up. Ryan explained. Running solo for 5 years since his father retired. Exhausting. Having a professional navigator would make routes efficient, profitable. He couldn't pay courier rates, but he could offer passage, shared profits, chance to see the galaxy instead of mourning a dead life. It wasn't grand or perfect, but it was real. A new course, not just for her ship but her entire life. Sera considered. She could return to Valen Prime, rebuild what she lost. But that person, confident courier with ship and reputation, died 3 years ago. The person she was now was different. Harder, cautious, but appreciative of simple things like conversation and movement and someone caring if she lived. "Okay," she said, "let's try it, at least until Threshold." Ryan grinned. "One jump at a time, that's how you navigate anything." At Threshold, engineers confirmed her ship was scrap. Sera mourned briefly. It was her home, livelihood, identity. But then Ryan filed paperwork adding crew to his manifest, and Sera realized she wasn't losing a ship. She was gaining a partner, a purpose, and a future. Months later, the Wandering Star ran routes with unprecedented efficiency. Not wealthy, but profitable. More importantly, content. Sera's ears regained expressiveness, her frame filled out, her eyes held light instead of despair. Sometimes during long jumps she thought about Epsilon-7, that ghost station where she almost gave up entirely. Part of her would always be there, marking time in the dark. But the rest of her was here, charting courses through stars, proving every day that hope isn't something you wait for passively. Sometimes hope is a human pilot who docks at an abandoned station and refuses to leave you behind. Sometimes hope is realizing losing everything can be the beginning of finding something better. And sometimes hope is just someone saying, "Come with me. Let's see where this course takes us." Sera charted their next route with practiced precision. Ryan implemented it with earned trust. Together, they navigated not just space, but the complicated journey of building new lives from wreckage. On the Wandering Stars Bridge, surrounded by stars belonging to no one and everyone, Sera finally felt home. Not the home